Hi, I'm Bernie from Crafters Companion. Today I've got one of our threaders pattern packs with us that includes 5 projects to make lots of different wallets and coin purses. So let's have a look at what you can make in here. You can actually make a coin purse, you can make a travel wallet to put your passport and everything in, you can make a wallet, a clutch bag and a purse. In this video, I'm actually going to show you how to make this fantastic clutch bag. Really easy make as well. So in the pattern pack, what you get is, you get in the pattern itself that has step-by-step instructions for each of the 5 projects. It also tells you how much fabric you need and what equipment you need to make it. And then you're going to have all the photos and all of the written instructions as well. So you get that. You're also getting a card slot positioning tool. So what this is going to do is help you line up on your fabric where to put your pockets to make them all even and precise, so your cards are going to fit in lovely. So you're getting that and instructions on how to use it. And then lastly, you're getting the paper pattern. And this is really good quality paper. It's got all your patterns on there with details of how many to cut of whatever fabric you're using or interfacing, which is optional. If you want to put wadding in, you can. If you've got a thin fabric, totally up to you. So what you're going to do first of all is cut out the pattern pieces. You're then going to choose your fabric and lay the pattern pieces onto your fabric. Now normally, traditionally, you would pin those pieces in place. However, we've got the best spray to use for it, paper pattern spray. And what this is, it's an adhesive in a can. So once you've got your pattern piece out, you spray this onto the back of the paper. You can use it with tissue paper patterns as well. Spray it onto the back of the paper, just a light mist. Just let it dry for a few seconds, and then you're going to put that paper piece onto your fabric and iron it. And as soon as you iron it, the heat from the iron activates the glue that you've sprayed on from the can. So the first step is telling us about putting the slots, the lines on for the slots. So I'm going to follow the order of the steps in here. So if you are doing this and you get stuck, you know where you can follow it step by step. So I've got my lining here. And what it's telling me is to line up the bottom of the lining fabric with row number 9 on the positioning tool. So that's what I've done there, lined that up on there. And it's telling me to draw through rows 4, 5, 6 and 7. So with the heat erasable pen, I'm going to go through all of those and mark those on. And then you're going to actually take your pattern pieces for the pockets. So this is a long piece of thin fabric. So the long piece is the same width as the lining for the bag. And what you're going to do is line it up to the first line. And you're going to stitch a 1/4 inch seam all the way along. And then you're going to bring the fabric down to the next line and finger press that. You can iron it in place if you want to, or finger press that in place like that. And then what you're going to do is get your next strip of fabric and lie that right side down again with the second line. Then stitch a 1/4 inch the same way as we did that first one. Again, bring that one down to the next line, and so on until you get to the bottom. You get to the bottom one, and what you need to do is just trim these edges around here. Because it's obviously you've got the curve. If I turn it over, you'll see the curve better. And that'll help your piece in later on that you just want to trim those. The next thing we're going to do is that side tab. So we've got this side tab here, or handle. And like I say, you can make this longer if you want to. We give you one in the pattern piece, but you can extend it very easily. And we do tell you how much fabric you'd need as well for each of these projects. So you just allow for a little bit of extra fabric. And to make the tab piece, what you're going to do is cut out. There's a rectangle of fabric, that's your pattern piece. You're going to press it to the centre lengthways, wrong sides together. And then open it out and then press them to the middle. And then press it over. So if you've ever made binding before, double binding, it's the same way as doing that. And you're just going to have that neat edge, these edges matching. And then you're going to take that to your machine, and with a longer stitch, so say a 3mm stitch length, you're going to stitch very close to the edge here, like a top stitch, all the way down one side, and then all the way down the other side. That just gives it that lovely professional finish. And then what you end up with is your strap, all stitched, ready to go onto your bag. So then we're going to go to the outside part of the bag. So we've got this lovely suede effect fabric here. It's really, really pretty. It sews beautifully as well. You just use your ordinary foot. You just need your ordinary foot with this. It's absolutely fine. So we're going to take our bag and we're going to get that tab handle and just fold it over, and then down the side of the clutch, about 2 inches down. So this is a great one to use your mat for. So I'm just lining up here on any line on my mat. So 1 inch, 2 inch. And then what you do is baste close to the edge. So just with a long stitch, close to the edge, and just secure that in place onto the bag. And then the next thing we've got is the tab, that secure tab as well. So if we pop that there. So we've got this tab here, and we just need to make that. So with that, you're going to cut out your pattern pieces. You'll have 2 rectangles. You're going to sew them right sides together. Sew down 2 long sides and along 1 short side. Turn it through, give it a nice press. Clip your corners first before you turn it through. You'll get a crisper corner. And then you're going to top stitch close to the edge all the way around. And then what you need to do is add on your snap fastener. To put our zip in now, we'll do the bit with the handle first. So let me just clip that in place, just so we can keep it in place. So if we've got the piece with the handle, and then you've got your zip. So you're going to put your zip right side towards the outer side. But if you look at this here, can we see how we've actually got the tab is enclosed in here? Can we see there that that's just enclosed between the zip and the outer fabric? So what we want to do is just slot that halfway along in there. Now you can baste that in place first if you want to, or you can just clip it and sew it at the same time as your zip. I would actually baste it, and then I know it's not going to move. So we'll then just pop that zip back on there. And you're also going to get your inside piece that you've added the slots on. And that's going to go right sides together. So you're going to pop that all together. And then with your zipper foot on your machine, you're going to stitch all the way along there to put that one side of the zip in. So once you've done that side, you've then got your other side of your zip. It'll be ready to stitch to the other side. So you'll have your other outer side, which will be plain because we've got the strap and the fastener on this one. And then you'll have your other lining piece as well, which will be your plain one. So you'll sandwich those between the other side of the zip to put that all together. It will look like this, and you're ready to put your other fastener on. So at this stage, what I would do is put your tab over, and again with your pen, just mark where you want to do it. So at that point, you're going to put that through, but you just want to put it through the outer fabric. You don't want to put it through the lining, just through the outer fabric. We're going to put right sides together, match that all up. You're going to then sew all the way around the outside. And this is where, you know, where we trimmed earlier when we did the card slots, we trimmed that on the curve, so it would make it easier to stitch this curve here. And you're going to leave quite a gap here. When you leave your gap, just make sure you secure at each end. Turn it all through the right way. There we go. So we've got that gap in the bottom there. Now what I like to do is I just give it a little bit of a finger press in, just rough about 1/4 inch on one side, and then about 1/4 inch on the other side. And then I would take it to the iron and just give it a little press so I know it's going to be straight. And at that point, when you've got it that straight, you can then either pop that through the machine or use a little whip stitch or a ladder stitch by hand. So that's one of the 5 projects in this pattern pack. So if you head on over to the website, you'll be able to find the links for the other videos to see how to make the other 4.